Say hi to James. Made me an entrepreneur. Teaching me day after day after day till it all was a blur. Now he on tour, he could drop in your city tonight. Never the Zen coming in for the fight. Making that powerful statement, saying that you meant for greatness. Better be ready for absolute.
Good morning, Absolute Motivation Nation. Man, you may have seen that we have merch that is available on the site. I'm wearing one of the shirts now, the Absolute Motivation shirt. Make sure you order it. Oh, there it is. Make sure you got a good view of that. This shirt's there, high quality, high end. The merch is amazing. Let people see that you proudly support the Absolute Motivation brand, and it's motivation that moves you. Some of the items are already selling out, so make sure you get one. If you grab one, show me you got it. And so social media, send us a picture, DM us on Absolute Motivation Official, Instagram. Let us know you're wearing the brand. Now, I couldn't wait to get started today so I could talk to you, to speak to you about life, blessings, favor, great things that are happening. You saw that we went live showing a 2 hour event about saving lives. We had our very own Brandy Vega come on as we did Promise to Live, and it was about suicide prevention. I was honored to be able to host it. There was John Voight and all these other A-list stars that have been there. And to have them here on the channel speaking into our lives. We had singers, we had entrepreneurs, you name it. There were amazing people who were involved with what we're doing. What I love is the fact is that the brand is growing in such a way. See, the brand is just a phrase, but the real thing is it is what we are as a people. It's more than talk, we put it into action. Navazine, the team that we have built here, is about impacting lives one person at a time so that we can have a domino effect. It's not just a motivation, it's a movement. When you listen to the videos, you'll hear us speak, but it's always from the heart. It's always about being authentic. It's about chasing dreams, setting goals, and going after it. I've seen my own life go from one area, one segment, right, to another and highlighted, impacting, doing things that I never thought possible. But the greatest thing I'm proud of is being able to affect the future. One of my greatest guests to ever appear on here isn't a celebrity that you know by name yet, but you will. I'm bringing on my son today, James Dixon II. James, welcome to Absolute Motivation.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Well, good morning, man.
Good
You
morning.
know, you're looking good. You look like you borrowed looks off of someone I know. So, um,
Right, sure.
yeah, you got freckles and stuff, man. Welcome. I love that, man. It seems like there's something great about that. I think that's what it, you know. I am loving the fact of seeing you chase your own dreams. Would you talk to people a little bit about what it is that was your goals, your dreams, what you set out to do, and then some of the things that you're currently doing?
Well, for a long time I've wanted to act, but recently I've also wanted to model. And because of that, you've helped open some doors for me to be able to walk through. But you didn't do all the work or anything. You just put me in the presence of those people and you wanted me to show that I wanted it as badly as I said I did. So went to a few events, two red carpet events in the span of 1 week, a bunch of flights, really boring, but met some amazing people. Hospitality was great. Went to great places, Hollywood, Nashville. It was amazing. And I've got auditions coming up, photo shoots, and more.
You know, what I love about it is that you set goals for yourself and you're going after greatness for yourself.
Right.
There is nothing greater than just having ambition. You're 18. You just graduated high school,
Mhm.
and then this past just 2 months ago, and already you've been on two red carpets, Getty's Images, Shutter
Mhm.
Stock. All these people got have you. You were even on stage in Hollywood at the
I
Avalon
was.
Theater. What
Hmm.
was that experience like for you?
Electrifying, to say the least. It was amazing. Everybody had their cameras out, taking pictures. I was on live. I was in the middle of the stage. I did not think I was going to be there. It was great.
Let me ask you: was that something you envisioned? And when it comes to like having a vision about your goals, your dreams, how how does it feel to see some of those things happen immediately?
That was my vision. Yeah, and I wasn't completely foreign to it because I've been in like plays and one musical, which was crazy. Um, but it was amazing. Felt like a dream at first, but I got used to it pretty quickly. I'd say had
Well,
fun.
I'm going to say this. One of the biggest lies ever told to anyone is that it's not that easy. The moment people tell you that you're going to have dreams, you say, I want to be this, I want to do this, there's stuff I want to accomplish in life. And people say, it's not that easy. The truth is, it can come easy, but it doesn't come, it can look easy on the outside, but it doesn't really come easy. What they don't
Right,
see is the hard work, the relationship building, the development of your skill set, and the development of your character that brings you to the moment so that when you meet that moment, you're able to walk into it. You've been able to do
right.
that. What is you have you learned about relationship building and chasing your dreams? How important has relationship building been in you achieving your goals?
Relationship building is the most important part of wanting to pursue something because, as you've said before, your net worth will bring your net worth. And I believe that 100% because the people I've met, they've helped me, they've gotten me contacts, they've gotten me literally the photo shoot I was in, and much more. Uh, and I can't think of enough.
Well, I know this part. The fact that if you started off there and you set these goals and
Mhm.
you keep expanding, how important has it been for you to keep expanding your goals, your dreams? How important is it to keep dreaming even bigger?
Incredibly, I don't want to stop at the 18 goals I wrote down a month ago. Not even really. I want to keep expanding on what I have and what I'll get in the future, and and just keep moving forward. Really,
Wow. I was sitting here thinking, my greatest accomplishment is the fact that God has given me the gift of you, Jeremiah and Keziah, to have children and see them walk not only in truth, but walk in character and walk after their dreams. I am so excited to watch what God does with you. Your pathway is yours and yours alone. But the fact that you're going to be able to play in movies, you're talking about amazing things. And
absolutely.
this is what it's about to see our future. People talk about legacy. And the legacy isn't just what you leave behind after you die, it's what you build along. It's like stairs that one leads to the next, and you never know how they're going to go. But the one thing you know is that you can't get stuck on the landing floor. You got to turn the corner and go up the next step because life is not about straight directions. You went from
Right.
Nashville to Hollywood, and talk about how crazy it is trying to navigate getting out of Utah, going to Hollywood, and how many hours do you end up having to rest? Even though, I mean, people see you at an event, you're energetic, but how much sleep do you get in between these things?
After that event, I had to go straight on a plane at 5 in the morning. We stopped at what 11 ish. Stayed up a little bit, ate food. It was pretty crazy. Um,
You had to
Day,
fly in when you
yeah,
flew
I had to
in.
fly
You
in the
went
day of.
fly in the day of, fly in out right
Hmm.
afterwards,
Hmm.
give up sleep. But if you
Right.
want your dreams, you've got to give up something at times. Is that right?
Indeed. Indeed, it is.
Is the sacrifice worth it?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
See, this is the thing that people wonder. Are you willing to sacrifice? Is it worth it? The one thing we know this is that you are worthy, you are worth it yourself. But are you willing to put in the work to get it? People can bring you to the water, but you got to be willing to drink of your out of your own cup. You got to be willing to fill it up, but you also have to be mindful of helping other people. You
Right.
can help other people, but they have to want it themselves. James, you seen where you've tried to open doors for other people and they didn't want it as bad as they said they wanted it, and you've
Right.
had to like, okay, I have to back off until they want it. Have you had that experience yet?
Yes, I did.
What's it like when you're sitting there trying to convince someone to go after their dreams and they're held back by a thought or philosophy, and then the opportunity lasts for only so long and they missed it? How does that feel
Right.
when you're talking to people? You at 18, you're experiencing this. What is it like when you go through that?
It's pretty sad because I can see how well they would do in a certain field, and they say they can see it as well, but they haven't shown that yet. So it's just a missed opportunity. A little disappointing, but such is life.
I think that is it. Such is the course of life that we choose. Your
Mhm.
steps can be ordered, but unless you step into them, you can never go after greatness.
Right.
I want to say this to you, and I say this to all children and every parent that is listening, that your children are your greatest gift that you give back. They extend your name, they extend your family, they're everything. It's your bloodline. It's your number one responsibility. And as
Right.
what I've been given is the opportunity to nurture and see my son walk in his own pathway, being his own person, and letting God direct his steps. And I'm so honored to watch you do so. Great things are in store for you as long as you continue to follow in the steps God has for you. I'm looking forward
Thank
to
you so much.
James is going to be speaking. He's going to be traveling. You'll see him
Right.
October the 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. He will be at the International Christian and Film Festival. It's going to be awesome. Make sure that you guys jump on that. He'll also be at Peak Performance Masterclass in Indianapolis, Indiana on the 19th of September. Just
Yes.
days away, less than a week away, we're going to be gathered together. We're talking about entrepreneurs, people that want to grow and grow. Invest is sponsoring and presenting there. You're going to hear from Scott Jarrett and a host of others. Make sure that you're there. If you're in Indianapolis, Indiana, be there. You don't want to miss it. After that, we'll be in Detroit and doing amazing things with General Motors. After that, we're headed off to Atlanta, Georgia. Impact is coming, guys. And then
Yep.
finally, closing out in November, we'll be in Nashville again on November 23rd. Make sure that you guys
Mhm.
are part of that. That's going to be amazing. That'll be at the Keystone Resort. And then ultimately, we'll leave there and go straight over to Dubai for an amazing, amazing moment there.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're really excited about that. Some amazing things are happening.
Absolutely.
But wanted to say this to you, James. All the things that are taking place, those things are set up because you put in the work. Continue to do the work. Nothing will come easy because every chance that you have an opportunity, you have to remember you're there to serve. All of us as speakers, whether you're a model, you're an actor, is someone to serve. And as a reason, and because you're serving, God continues to expand you. I want nothing but favor and blessing on your life. I want you to be able to be as impactful as you can be. Keep writing your book, guys. He's writing a book now. And so you're going to
I
see
am.
absolute motivation from his perspective. And I'm looking forward to seeing it. Man, I love you. And I'm glad to have you on today.
Thank you for having me. I love you too.
All right, guys, that's James Dixon the second, my son. Having him on is was something that is a privilege and an honor to me. One day, even over the course of life, to have your children go back and when they, long after I'm gone, to be able to have that digital footprint where they can go back and hear you say, I love you. Make sure you're doing those things, because a life worth living is also worth recording. Record those moments, make them impactful. Pour into people, because you never know when that opportunity is gone. So make the most of that moment. Even today, I'm going to be bringing on the one, the only, the incomparable friend and fellow entrepreneur, brother of mine, Kelly Cardenas, will be coming here shortly. And when he comes on, man, we're going to have an amazing moment. We've been talking about the way that relationships work. Relationships can put you in situations where you get to elevate. I remember when I first did an interview with him, I was in a gym, and the reason I was in the gym is because I didn't even have Wi-Fi at the moment. I didn't have it at my home, so I went to the gym so I could have that Wi-Fi connection. I couldn't, people are clanging and banging, noises are being made with the weights, and I couldn't really get a good sound. Then I thought about the tanning booth. I don't feel like I needed to tan, but I went and got in the tanning booth because the door created a place where I could have a better sound quality. And I did my first interview there. Never despise humble beginnings, because you never know where you'll end up. Starting there without the ability to have Wi Fi and all those things, now I can be wherever, whenever, doing whatever. And God has opened those doors. But it happened in the next season. People that evaluate you are where you are can underestimate your value, your impact, what you bring to the table. You bring more to the table than what people realize. There's more gifting in you. Don't ever allow yourself to play small, be small in a room or in a place, or have people devalue who you are because you don't have it yet. The key word is yet. It's coming. I don't have it yet, but it's going to be here. The key is to remember that you are worth it, but you have to be worthy. Worth it and worthy are separate this way. You are worth being honored. Your worth has value. There is nothing you can do to be unlovable by God. There's nothing you can do to be disrespected. There's nothing that merits any of those things. But to be worthy of the opportunity to elevate and do more, you got to serve more. You have to be about other people. It can't be about just you. If it's all for me, let me get all of this. That's ego, that's negative. No one feeds into that. But if you want to be great, you want to do something amazing, the way that you do it is this. Find ways to serve other people, because you'll never find shortage when it comes to service. And every time you serve, you elevate and go a new level. When you get up to speak, it is not, hey, I'm here to speak and say such and such. I'm here to give a performance. Never. You're there to serve the people there. You know, every time that I go to speak someplace, there's always this theme that they might have. And I'll sit there and I'll contemplate, I'll come up with notes, I'll have something that I want to share, and then all of a sudden, it hits me. I can't share that. That was for me. The homework and all the research, all that stuff was for me. What I'm here for them, what I pick up out of the room, from the conversations, from the meeting of people, from the shaking of hands, there's a different message. And when you start to do that, you move to a different method. It's about speaking from the heart to the heart. And when people begin to hear those things, it changes. Every one of us must operate in that moment. What's your true course? What's your true value? When you get in those situations, you have to be selfless. If you find yourself feeling nervous, I got to get up and speak in a moment, you're feeling all those anxiety and all those things, that is because it's about you. You got to take a deep breath, relax, and realize I am not here for me. I am here for them. If you can get for them, you can get a win. You can get a WIN. You can get it right now. The WHEN now. I can do all these things right now. I can bless people. I can encourage people. I can challenge them. I can provoke them to be more so they can serve more. I can push them into their destiny. I can ignite a fire within them that will go back and burn up everything that was lazy in them, everything that was procrastinating, everything that was dishonest. You can change lives with inspiration, but not with motivation. You see, if I just motivate, man, it's hyped. Yeah, that was good stuff, and you leave. But if I can inspire, To inspire is to breathe life into something. It is to put a part of yourself into someone else. I inspire you. I aspire to always inspire. That's why it's important for us to give people truth, to find a way to live, as Lee Brower said to us, to live arrows out. If arrows in, if everything points back to me, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, nobody needs to see that. Nobody needs that. But if you can find a way to live your life pointing arrows out, that means I hunt down things for the benefit of others. That whatever it is that I chase, whatever it is I gain, whatever platform I go to, I get there so that I can bring you to it. I can say, listen, for mental health, there's a whole different direction we can go in and fix this thing inside of our folks. There, I need to be able to bless them and get them help. I need to let them know that there's no stigma attached to them that they can't overcome, that no matter how bad things are, you can still win. You can overcome it, you can turn that into something. And as I've been always been saying, I will always say, when you go through something, you become something. The greatest thing that I ever had in my life to happen to me is all my losses. Same thing is true for you. You just may not see it this moment, but every loss that you had is so you can move forward. And I can't move any further than this. Kelly Cardenas is here. He's a man that exemplifies serving others, giving. I mean, he's fresh off the stage there at Secret Knock. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the top speakers in the world, one of the most humble people, one of the top podcasters in the world, my brother, my friend, Mr. Kelly Cardenas. Oh, snap! There he is.
Hey, my head was too big, man. I didn't know. I need to zoom out. That melon looks big, man.
No, man, you're looking good, man. And he's got his own brand. He got that Kelly Cardenas there. Kelly Cardenas is that dude, man. He's that guy. Make sure you guys check out his podcast. It is an impactful, it is inspirational, it is God breathed into the life of others. Kelly, man, tell people about what you've been doing, man. I know you've been lighting up a stage at the number one networking event in the world. Will you talk a little
Well,
bit about that?
Well, it was incredible, man, and the whole emphasis was that you never know the person sitting next to you, and you're that example, man. I mean, I didn't know when I reached out to you, when you were coming to Secret Knock before, I had no idea the impact that you were going to have on my life. But the cool thing was, is I didn't lead with how incredible you were. I led with, I just want to get to know this person, and then as I got to know that person, I got to know what you do, and that became a safer relationship. And most of the time people lead with, hey, what do you do? How can you help me? How can I help you? Whatever it is. And they don't get to know the person. And I got to know you as a brother. And then I realized that you're the number one motivational speaker in the world, one of the most impactful people in the world. And for me, I'm very fortunate because you're not James Dixon, the guy that rules the world. You're James Dixon, my brother. So that's the coolest thing, man.
Dude, I gotta tell you, man, I just love this. It's impossible to see Kelly and not start smiling. I don't know what it is. You know, there are people who are mean mug, act tough in public. Kelly walks by and he's smiling. You see strangers, it's they're like, what happens? Man, you carry, man, this joy from within that touches people. What is it that, what did you develop that? How did you develop this infectious impact? What is it inside of you that comes out?
It's just Jesus, man. I can't take it. I mean, it is that. And my mom was big on it. My mom wasn't big on religion. My pops,
Yeah.
my pops got crazy into religion at one point. I told you about Pop, and he got crazy into it. But it was always just a basis in Jesus having a personal relationship and it being personal to you. You didn't have to. My pops told me one time I was really sad because I hadn't gone to church in like 4 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever. And he's like, "Boy, what'd you do?" And I said, "I rode my bike, I walked, I ran." And he's like, "Was God with you?" And then he was like, "So quit getting down on yourself and just realize that God is always with you." And I tell you, if God is with me, like I'm always spending on his credit card. And guess what? I never get the bill. I never get the bill at the end of the month. So when I work with with someone who owns it all, who distributes it all, uh, I get to charge on his reputation. And that light is one of those things people ask me after Secret Knock, which you were speaking about. You know, it's the number one networking conference in the world that you can't go to unless you're invited. And,
That's
you
right.
know, people were like, "Oh, are you so drained afterwards?" I said, "No, I'm drawing from all this energy from you guys. I feel like I have, like, from the Back to the Future, I have the flux capacitor. I put in everybody's energy, whether it be good, bad, trash, whatever it is. And you know what? God, Jesus turns it around, and he uses that energy and then pours it into every single person that I could come through. So that's where my smile is coming from. And I'm just, I tell you, this last thing, James, is every day that I wake up and I'm not working at Kentucky Fried Chicken for $5.25 an hour, I got a smile on my face, baby.
Listen, I tell you that this is what I love. I can remember um, when I've watched you. I've had the privilege of being around a ton of people, and the more that I'm around, I was sitting there with John Voight. He's 85, man, and he tried to jack me up. He grabbed grabbed my jacket and he pulls up on me, and he's like, "I can still take you," and me, he probably could. At least I would let him because the lawsuit. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I got beat up with John Voight. I lost a leg and everything in the fight. I'm getting paid. I'm not going to win that one." Now, if he was broke, he might be broken. But no, I was sitting here with I was sitting there with, and I'm around these guys, and I've seen you be around so many champions, people that people are like, "Hey man, get his autograph, get that." How is it that you are always even kill? You treat a person whether they work at KFC or they're the inventor of something that changes the world. You treat them all the same. How is it that you navigate that and treat them all as if they're all equal?
I think it goes back to Jesus too, right? And so, my mom would always tell me never to be a respecter of persons, and my pops was big on the fact of, he treated the person, that was cleaning the floors, he treated them with the highest level of respect. A lot of it because, I'm half Mexican, which it doesn't show a lot, but my dad, growing up Mexican, he could see his mom in the porter at the hotel that was taking care of your room. He could see his mom. He would speak Spanish to the ladies that were, and even though he was staying in the hotel, he would do that. And I always saw my mom just, it was always about respect. She never cared about any of the stuff. I remember one time, this is crazy. I don't know if I ever told you this, but we opened a business at the Hard Rock Casino in Las Vegas years ago. And on the opening day, John Paul DeJoria was coming in. Now he's the co-founder, or he's the founder of Paul Mitchell and the owner of Patron that he sold for 5.4 billion. So this is a guy. This is
Yeah,
a
yeah.
this is a okay. Let me give you a little backstory. One time I was hanging with my pops with John Paul, and John Paul says, "Hey, I was hanging out with Nelson, and then Brad came up, and we were talking about ha ha ha. And then Nelson asked me if he could have a job because he needed to get away from his wife for a little bit, so if he could drive for me." And my dad was like confused a little bit, and I was laughing and whatever. And then I walked away with my pops. I said, "Pops, you know who he was talking about?" And he's like, "Who?" And I said, "Nelson Mandela and Brad Pitt." So this is the kind of environments that I'm in,
Yeah.
right? And so, where we're at is, you know it's allowing yourself to just connect with the person themselves, right? I lost track when I went with the backstory. Tell me the where I lost
Yeah,
track at.
no. You're on it. How you were able to walk in those rooms, treat
Yeah.
the porter as the same as the person who's in the pulpit or whatever it is. Doesn't matter what platform they're on. You treat them all with equality.
Well, my mom was huge on this, man. And okay, so John Paul shows up to the opening of our location, and
Mhm.
he had only showed up to one other in the history of Paul Mitchell, and he showed up to ours. And everyone freaks
Wow.
out. They radioed us. He showed up at the valet. He had just flown in on his own plane to Vegas from Austin, and everyone freaks out. "Oh my gosh, John Paul's in the building! John Paul's in the building!" And I stop and I turn to my mom and I'm like, "Mom, John Paul is in the building." And she was like, "Okay." She didn't even react, and I was like, "John Paul started Paul Mitchell. He sold Patron for 5.4 billion." My mom didn't even blink, turned around, looked me dead in my eyes, and said, "Does he know what you did, son?" See, my mom was more locked in to loving her sons than for her to give shine to somebody because they've done a movie, built a company, made some money, whatever it was.
Mhm.
And what she showed me was that it wasn't that I was lucky to meet somebody else, that they were lucky to meet me because I had Jesus in my heart. Does that make sense?
Man,
So,
yeah.
it,
Listen, you passed that on to me. Because everything that I did, I went from working at the factory to sitting on stage, looking around the room, people from Black Panther movies and all this stuff, people that were in movies, Airplane, you name it. I'm looking at all these stars, and you were like, I said, hey, I met such and such, and they said they also met you, and I was like, man, it's shifted because it made me realize that if I'm in the room, I have equal standing and merit. Let them meet me just as I meet them. There is absolutely no reason for us to ever be a fan when we can be impactful and be present and be involved with people and add value to the rooms we're in.
well, I want to tell you this, James, because looking, did I freeze for a second? Hold on for a second. Let me see if did I lose you? Hold on.
Hey, hey,
Can you hear me?
I'm still here with you. Sorry,
Can you?
Kelly, I lost you for a second. I was talking.
He's taking phone calls from John Voight. That's what he's doing.
Hey,
So,
no, listen. We have invest on September the 19th in Indianapolis, Indiana. We're going to have the awesome leader of the group, the pack financial guru, Scott Jarrett, and his amazing team together. And they called in, and I took a moment. I said, "Hey, let me answer." But then I got off. I said, "I got to talk to Kelly Cardenas," and we got the whole world. All of you who are watching live, man, we're so honored to have you guys here. But I'm telling you, the gift that I'm giving you now is the access that you have with this man. Kelly is not only a top podcaster, he speaks with A-listers, he's interviewed everyone. Listen, you hear him talking about talking to someone who sold Patron for $5 billion. Now, if you've had access to those type of people, you've picked up knowledge from them, how-tos and what they went through that you can pass on to others. What are some keys, the successful people you've seen? What are some habits or some things you saw in them that everyone else should be aspiring to?
well, I was reading yesterday, and this was great because woke up and I read. I don't read the Wall Street Journal a lot, but I read the Wall Street Journal yesterday, and there was an article, and it was about, they interviewed three guys, and these three guys are pretty powerful, right? Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos, and they asked them, what is the foolproof marketing plan? And I was like, man, I mean, think of that, right? If you get the foolproof marketing plan from those three guys, what are you going to get? So I wrote it down, and can I share it with you?
No, please do. Please do.
So number one, don't be stupid. Invite discipline and correction. Number two, do the right thing for the right reason. Number three, honor your family at the highest because they will be the foundation of all of your success. Number uh,
Mm,
number four, speak life into every thing and every one that you encounter. Meaning, use their name, use something specific, why they inspired you. Number five, brands are praised according to their thought of the future, not of just today and how they could take advantage of you today.
mm.
Six, I paraphrase this because I'm from Lompoc, California. Don't fake the funk. If it's not you, don't do it. Don't fake it till you make it because someone will know that you're a liar and then they'll never trust you anyway. Uh,
Mm.
Number seven, do good for people. Number eight, work your land and don't be distracted by fantasies. Number nine, speak life and work hard. Number 10, promote peace and have joy. Number 11, do right, efficient work. And number 12, association is paramount. And coming from Mark Zuckerberg,
Mm.
Jeff Bezos, and Elon Musk, I think you should pay attention.
Yeah, come
Although
on.
paid attention to was not Elon Musk, was not Mark Zuckerberg, and was not Jeff Bezos. That was Proverbs 12 that was written 3,000 years ago that will apply
Mhm.
in every single business today. You see, that what we talked about earlier, in your heart. See, everybody perked up when I said those three names. There's
That's right.
association with them, but the association with those people, they just got principle based things that we have available to us that was written 3,000 years ago because God knew exactly where you and I were going to be at this point, knew we were going to be
Wow.
friends, and knew that I was going to be so proud of you to have your son on this. Because watch this, in Proverbs 13 today, which is the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day, a wise son heeds his father's instruction, but a mocker does not respond to rebukes. And you brought your
Ooh.
son, and your son seeing what it is, but you also are being obedient to your father, James, which is Jesus.
Man, come on, man. Listen, this is why I'm so thankful.
Hey,
Dude,
get this, James. I was able to deliver at the number one networking conference in the world, which I'm the co-host of, with Greg Reed, which is all about, they bring in all different types of belief systems, woo woo,
oh
all that stuff. I delivered that yesterday. Everyone wrote down 12 points. And when I
yeah.
hit them afterwards, they all wrote down the Bible. It was from all creeds, religions, everything like that.
Yeah,
But the word transcends. It's
it
not
does.
about what you look like. It's not about where you're from or how much money you got, but it's about how much love you have in your heart that was provided by our Creator.
Man, listen, that's why you set the world on fire, man. Because, hey, listen, that joy. Listen, the one thing that you guys got to understand is that those are principles that work at all times. Right now, you say, I'm going through something, going through a challenge. You don't have to go through it alone. We connect with each other. We pray for each other. We lift each other up. We hold each other accountable. We walk in integrity. And when we mess up, being able to receive someone that can tell you, hey, you're missing the mark, but also get the encouragement when you're doing the right things. When I watch, man, the way that you are with your family and all, I was like, man, I love that, brother. And we became brothers because we sharpened iron. That means you rub against each other. And it was like one of the greatest conversations we have is when, tell me if I'm off here, right? You invite somebody to tell you that you're wrong. Most of the time, people are looking for people to be yes men. But yes people don't add any value. If you're around people and all they do, they're entourage people. So you're aspiring, you're going somewhere like an NBA player. You got 20 homies that hang out with you that don't play ball, but they they ball out on your income. You are wasting income. You have to be around people that will challenge you, elevate you, hold you accountable to the greatness that is within. I think that might be why LeBron's better than you. Listen, one of the important things I want to talk about is as like what you're going to be coming to the International Christian Film Festival. Movies like The Forged, The Chosen TV show, those directors will all be there. You'll be interviewing them, talking to them. October 12th in Atlanta, Georgia. I cannot wait because you have a unique gift of pulling out stuff that they leave out, right? So there'll be Kelly will interview you, and it will turn into you know how moments where people are sitting there. You may have seen guys the movie where Jerry Maguire and Cuba is there. Is like, man, don't make me cry, man. Don't make and like he has the ability to pull out what they leave out in their talking. Someone be like, and so we made the film. Kelly will dig in and pull out. You'll find out all of these other things when you're there. If you guys can make it, the tickets are free, but they're only 500 seats.
Oh my
Make sure
goodness.
you go to internationalcff.com. Internationalcff.com. That's the International Christian Film and Music Festival. It's going to be amazing because my brother's going to be on stage impacting lives and talking about faith, family, and about film. You see, there's one thing about film is that we get to see or witness something. I can remember the first time watching Chosen, why it became such a big hit, even though it's Christian, right? You're watching the life of Christ. And when you see these moments, the seconds, the loving moments, you sit there and you witness and realize what a sacrifice, what impact it was made for me and you. But if you read it firsthand, you get the details that the movie can never show you. The book that he's talking about, every day, if you lack wisdom, what is it that you're going through? How do you get wisdom? Where does that come from, Kelly?
Well, I read the corresponding proverb for the corresponding day. And you shine light on everybody else, man. But I tell you, like, you're the most action-taking individual I've ever seen in my life. We used you as an example because most of the time people have there's opportunities everywhere, but sometimes we just don't see them because they're dirty, they're nasty, and they don't look like the shiny thing. But you're a
Mm.
person, James. When you're talking, the reason why I love to hear you, and I think the reason why you speak life into people, is because it comes from a place of authority, not from opinion. And authority comes from the fact that you actually do what you're talking about. And the people that are around you, they see your action. They see that in place, but they also see that you don't go and do something and then pray that God will bless it. You ask him if it's the right thing before you actually step into it. So you're led by God as opposed to having him come and try and fix something he didn't do. Because he ain't trying to make something. He ain't going to make an apple out of an orange. You know what I'm saying? He
Come on,
wants us
man.
to plant whatever seeds he tells us to, and you're doing that, which I think is great.
Dude,
So
I got to speak some life into you right now. I got to just tell you something. Um, you know, all heart aside, all jokes aside, I just want to tell you this. Kelly, you're an amazing man. What makes you amazing isn't that your personality, it isn't that you speak life over people, but that you open doors and you don't even take credit for doing it. The position that I'm in is because of the opening doors that you began. I was walking and I would not have even been able to come to Secret Night, but I came and because of you, because of what you spoke, because of the conversation, it put me on a platform. And on that platform, it gave me the key, the last key that was needed to unlock the next level. And when you did so, man, you didn't say, "Hey, don't forget your boy." No, man, you cheered me on. And I see you do that, not just with me, but everyone. You put posts up on social media. I love it when my friends win and he celebrates them and he uses his audience and tell them, "Go look at my friend," right? And you show that love to other people. So I want to turn around and show that love to you. Thank you for who you are and who you're becoming. The fact that you keep not being satisfied with what you are, what you do. Ladies and gentlemen, you're talking about speaking. You need to have your corporation, your company would be impacted. He's a best-selling author. His book is called The Vibe. You can go on Amazon, look it up, type in Kelly Cardenas, Vibe. If you just type in Vibe, Kelly under Kelly, you will end up finding it anyway, but you got to get it. Vibe is not just an emotion, it's not a thought, it's not woo-woo. Vibe, it's the frequency in which you operate. It's the AM, FM, or it's the ACDC. It's whatever it is you want to call it. It is about getting on connection with who you truly can be and being able to operate authentically in that stream. He streams a podcast that is impactful, that is high quality, is one of the top in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy I call a friend and a brother, Kelly Cardenas. Thank you for coming on,
love you.
brother.
Love you, man.
Love
I
you,
love you
sir.
a ton.
Listen, that is Kelly Cardenas, man. It was an honor to have him on. I want you to know that every time we bring people on, I just bring them on because I want you to be able to see and connect with people who are authentic, who are making an impact in this world. Yeah, he was on stage at the number one networking event in the world, things that you can't even attend without an invite. And yet here he is with, as soon as I sent him a message, "Hey, jump on for a moment." I wanted him to pour into your lives fresh off that stage. You saw us on stage. We had A-listers. We're on there talking with them, being with them, see photos with them, and it doesn't matter. It's about you. Absolute motivation is about what we pour into you. It's about what we speak into your life. It's about seeing you grow, seeing you develop, seeing you make an impact. And I'm loving the fact that you are becoming who you are. There's greatness in every one of you. You tuned in, you listened. But I want you to hear this. You are worthy. You are worth it. You're on your way. Until Monday, this is James Dixon from Absolute Motivation on behalf of Nav and Azim. We love you. Motivation that moves you. Make sure you get the merch. I'll see you on Monday. God bless.
Say hi to James. Made me an entrepreneur. Teaching me day after day after day till it all was a blur. Now he on tour, he can drop in your city tonight. Never Zen coming in for the fight. Making that powerful statement, saying that you meant for great.